In a surprising turn of events, reality TV viewers are going crazy over a late-night incident that is rapidly degenerating into complete mayhem. Harris, the husband of Yandy Smith, was purportedly seen on video with Rashida Frost, but this wasn't a simple picture opportunity. Rather, things are getting heated quickly, and stories are circulating like wildfire, including allegations of a private film that is now causing a stir online, according to guys with knowledge of the issue. At a private after-hours gathering in Atlanta, Mendeecees and Rasheeda were seen cuddling, but this was just the start. Within hours, anonymous stories started to appear. Fans are in disbelief as the streets are buzzing with rumors of a compromising video. Let's be clear, this was not your usual TikTok dance duet, and crazy rumors are rife on social media. Has Rashida finally cleared up the Kirk Frost mess? Is her spouse abandoning her? And above all, is the video authentic? The drama is developing in unexpected ways, and it all began on what seemed to be a normal Thursday night in Atlanta. It was a VIP-only event held outside one of the city's most exclusive after-hours bars, complete with flashing lights and velvet ropes. But after reality TV, as most, the whispers started when Harris and Rashida Frost, two polarizing stars in DC, arrived in different automobiles minutes apart, igniting an instant while Mendeecees' trail behind his head fell behind the hat. Rumors Rasheeda was the first to emerge, looking perfect in a sleek black satin dress. Fans originally believed that their attendance at the same event was a coincidence, but video evidence showed that cameras never miss a thing. Other photo, the two stayed together all night, and one witness claims that they even departed together at about 2:40 a.m. via a rear door. And in the VIP section, they were seen sitting close to one another, laughing and speaking to one another alone. A shaky 15-second video that was released showed a man named VC standing behind Rashida at the bar, his hand momentarily caressing her lower back, with no security by sunrise. Fans examined every picture as she murmured something in his ear, conjecturing about their relationship. One Twitter user said, "This isn't any ace." An anonymous Instagram site infamous for disclosing celebrity secrets has risked everything for the Frost Queen, and as the allegations grew, it only got worse. Spread unsubstantiated but shocking reports that a secret, intimate film starring Rasheeda and MCs was making the rounds. Fans couldn't believe it, according to Yandy followers. Were in denial, while Kirk Frost went completely silent, posting nothing and not even taking gym selfies, while Rasheeda's admirers remained mute. On her Instagram story, Rashida shared a mysterious black screen with the words, "Some things are just," but rather of calming things down, it just made them worse. Yandy, who never stays silent for long, answered by posting a video. Was she confessing to anything, or was it simply a misunderstanding? Fans instantly began to wonder whether a sequence of family images with the message, "I stand tall in truth, love, and loyalty always will," was a covert jab at just as many believed the crisis could blow over. A second longer and crisper video was released. Men's was unfaithful. The desire for answers increased, revealed that this one was significantly more intimate between the guys and Rashida, who were seen sitting alone themselves in a secluded lounge area. Rashida removed her heels, and the men he sees took off his. Rashida put her head on men's shoulders and the internet, and their chemistry was evident. They shared a moment too private to ignore. Rashida had been confiding in me for months, particularly following Kirk's latest incident, and crazy rumors started to circulate, according to anonymous sources. Mendeecees felt abandoned by Yandy as she concentrated on her job and activities, and fans couldn't help but see comparisons. Was this the cheating scandal? Tipping point for Rashida, but nobody had confirmed the video, and some people said it was all a publicity hoax. But as the rumors kept becoming worse, it became evident that this was no typical scandal. Rather, it was a love triangle that had become square, a complicated web of feelings, betrayals, and remorse. And then the voicemail jumped. It was a tape of Rashida stating, "I didn't want it to happen like that. I meant no." In a quiet, almost broken voice, The video, the chemistry, and the emotional sensitivity of this confession sent shockwaves around the internet. I simply wanted comfort. Social media was inundated with hashtags like #Rashid, #M, and #ComfortMore, which were about passion, anguish, and crossing a boundary that neither of them could uncross. Everybody became a detective as fans examined every element, including body language, timestamps, and timeframes, in an effort to put together the tale as the weeks went by. Only made Kirk Frost's quiet last longer, but in a manner that nobody anticipated, he made a significant appearance on a since-deleted Instagram live broadcast. He spoke to the camera while sitting in what seemed to be a hotel room, obviously upset and inebriated, stating, "You don't know the complete story, but it's not behind the scenes." Allegations surfaced that Kirk had left the family home humiliated and ashamed, and Rashid's crew frantically tried to handle the situation. She canceled business engagements and stopped posting on social media, allegedly severing all connections with everyone save her mother, and in the meanwhile, Yandy maintained her fortitude by sharing footage of herself with her kids, but sources said that she was saddened, admired Rashida, and had faith in MDs. But now that her life was falling apart, her family's one strong public image had been destroyed, and just when things couldn't get much worse, becoming more heated, Kirk's long-standing ex-girlfriend Jasmine bravely joined the fray on Instagram, adding gasoline to the flames with a photo and the question, "Are you?" The internet reacted in anger at Rashida for doing what Kirk has been doing for years. Give that lady some room. Was this Jasmine making fun of Rashida? Retaliation for the past. As emotions were running hot, all eyes were on Mendeecees and Yandy and Rasheeda, and everyone was wondering why they were faithful and what fans are going crazy about what would happen next in this twisted reality TV story. The scandal was far from ended, and it felt like the drama was just getting worse. Kirk Frost uses social media to vent his annoyance at the unfolding scandal, saying, "I find it funny to see my wife acting innocent out here." Although he has been dragged through the dirt for years, he gave a suggestion that everyone is treating her like a saint. "I'm not perfect, but I don't do this." In reference to the leaked footage that has become the focal point of all the commotion, he added awkward things on camera. But what did he mean by receipts? Fans were on edge as Kirk's cryptic statement, which was going to reveal his zone, raised the possibility of a husband-wife retaliatory war. A scathing remark from, "You weren't crying when you were creeping on me, so don't cry now," Jasmine, Kirk's longtime ex, said, adding gasoline to the fire. Her words sent shockwaves that pulled her back into the center of the controversy. But the main question on everyone's mind was, where is the full video? Fans were frantically searching for answers, so bogus films started to appear. The amount of grainy, pointless video being shared online with deceptive subtitles and conversations on Reddit and Telegram was at an all-time high, until a mystery message surfaced on X, previously Twitter. A burner account broadcast a video that went from personal to intense, but no one had seen the full tape. The THW tweet was swiftly removed, but not before it was captured on video from a hotel room in Atlanta at 3:47. As screenshots went viral, people recognized that this was a genuine issue impacting professions, marriages, and more, not simply celebrity rumors. Reputations. According to reports, Isaac was hiding in New York, evading cameras and phone calls while drafting a statement with legal counsel, according to sources. Thought the scandal would go away following the voicemail release, but everything changed and attorneys were involved. He didn't anticipate things to go this bad. Rashid's staff was attempting to track down the source of the leak, and cease and desist letters were allegedly sent out, while male VCs confessed to a pal that unaware that someone was filming. But the public's view of Rashida started to change as she sang as a sign of bravery and devotion in the face of some fans felt betrayed by Kirk's prior transgressions, while others were more understanding and saw her humanity. Then came a startling piece of evidence, a fuzzy snapshot purportedly taken. Was she really a victim of circumstances, or was there more to this than meets the eye? The night before the notorious video was captured, Ems and Rashida were seen strolling down a corridor hand in hand, according to hotel security footage. seeming comfortable and relaxed if the video was authentic. This wasn't a one-time error. There was something more serious going on. Another twist came when pictures of Yandy and Kirk together appeared in paparazzi pictures. They were sitting across from one another at a quiet cafe in Midtown. Their features very somber. Fans of smiles or hand-holding couldn't help but wonder whether this was a ceasefire or a deliberate maneuver to survive in the reality TV industry, where alliances are often created in the most surprising ways, and it seemed like Kirk and Yandy were attempting to steer the conversation. Amid all the conjecture, the emphasis shifted to the real-life incidents in the hotel room. Who jumped on camera, and why? Was it all a part of a bigger scheme, or was it simply an emotional error? The answer appeared to be out of reach, but then a hotel employee who wished to remain anonymous came up with the shocking information. The whistleblower sent a number of direct messages to a gossip site claiming to have seen Rashida and Mendeecees enter into the hotel at approximately midnight. The staff member remembered seeing them arrive separately and made a note of the employee reported seeing someone else enter their room soon after they discovered that Mendeecees was bringing Rashida a luggage. Checked in a person in a sweatshirt who was thought to be a stylist or assistant, and it was obvious that the video wasn't a random incident. Rather, it was the video swerve for financial benefit, causing pre-planned parries to blow up on social media. Was it a case of blackmail? Or was it just plain retaliation? Ree ought to have spoken out at last, and when she did, it was heartfelt and unfiltered. She then went live on Instagram while seated in her home office. She stated, "I didn't want to do this on camera, but I can't let the lies spiral out of control." She was speaking honestly, without makeup or a filter. Her eyes I aired, "I did something I never would have done. I hurt worthless people." She went on to say, detailing how for years she had been the one keeping everything together, grinning in spite of the humiliation. "After a while, I lost my feeling of significance, but someone came up and listened to me. It was obviously incorrect, but it was true." Rashida's candor astounded many. She didn't mention names, but everyone knew who she was talking about. There were conflicting responses on the internet, with some applauding her for being honest at last and others criticizing her for breaching her promises. As for male VCs, he responded briefly, posting a black and white snapshot of himself on a rooftop with the remark, "Some good people make bad." This was hours after Rashida's live feed. Options, "I'm sorry," but even though it was a straightforward message, it had a lot of significance. He didn't identify anybody, but his words were profound. While some fans praised Yandy for being direct, others wanted more, especially from her when discussing Yandy. Mostly quiet since the cafe encounter with Kirk, when there were reports that she had moved out of Mendeecees and brought their kids to her mother's home. According to sources, the last stunner came from Kirk, who shared an old picture of himself and said that she needed time to think and wasn't ready to face men yet. With the message, "We've been through worse, but I never imagined we'd be here," Rashida from their early 20s and his once critical supporters started to feel Admiral Kirk had become a part of the narrative in a manner that nobody anticipated. The scandal is still ongoing, and the public is still seeking answers about who will be in charge of the tale, who will prevail. Only time will tell. Following years of mockery and being seen as the antagonist, Kirk Frost was abruptly faced with the response of treachery, with some online users justifying his actions and others claiming it was karma catching up with him. However, according to those close to Jasmine, another storm was brewing in the center of this one that hadn't completely developed yet. She wasn't finished, however, and she was sitting on more. The internet was ablaze with conjecture as she waited for the perfect opportunity to reveal bombshell revelations. Was her comeback motivated by revenge or something else entirely? Fans knew one thing for sure: Jasmine wasn't personal, maybe to assert significance now that the controversy had escalated to new heights. Keeping quiet for a long time while everyone's attention was on Kirk Yandy Many, Rashida entered the spotlight like the scene stealer in this reality TV show features Kandi Burruss, a business mogul, artist, and close friend of Yandy and the Queen of Atlanta herself. On her show, Rashida Kandi made strong claims that left little room for misunderstanding. She didn't mention specific names, but she made it obvious what happens when you utilize using temptation as therapy can teach you a lot about heartbreak, sweetie. If you're playing in the dark and hoping to win, that's just not an option. Her comments struck a deep chord, and the Anna erupted, making it obvious who she was referring to. Fans quickly put everything together, but Kandi was finished. She continued. She reminded everyone that loyalty is mutual, and that even if Atlanta may seem sleek, someone is always watching. Her comments lit the flames in the turmoil. Situation became worse, but just when everyone believed the worst was done, a startling development happened. The whole video of Rashida and Mendeecees appeared, but not. No, it wasn't on Instagram or Twitter. Instead, it leaked via secret Telegram groups and dubious discussion forums. It was blurry and only lasted for less than 4 minutes. Lengthy, but sufficient to make clear what was occurring. Rashida and Mendeecees are too close and personal for there to be any misunderstanding when the tape was released. Everything changed and the internet went crazy. Some followers were devastated, while others were incensed that the accusations were true. Unquestionably, the ensuing turmoil in the days following the video spread like wildfire. Links were posted on obscure sites, screenshots were captured, and clips were circulated. Apologies didn't satisfy anybody before being swiftly withdrawn, but the harm had already been done. What the public wanted now was responsibility, and as tensions hit their peak, Yami shared the chillingly straightforward statement, "You can't heal in a place that broke you," on Instagram with a black screen. Fans were shocked and speculated when she unfollowed Rashida and deleted any references to male DCs from her account. This happened with every anniversary post and family trip. That Yandy had already spoken with divorce attorneys and was discreetly preparing to leave, that this wasn't the end, but rather the start of her own personal liberation. In the meanwhile, Rashida vanished from view after calling off the fashion line event, deleting her social media accounts, and withdrawing into even her mother, who was often her worst offender, left a mysterious note about the silence in her home. Sometimes the ones you raise let you down the most. Mendeecees also stopped talking, and he disappeared from social events in Miami. It's possible that he worked behind the scenes with his public relations team and on the internet, but he didn't forget old footage of Reza crying at Kirk's betrayals and displaying Rashida while fans try to put together the history. Remembering how Yandy had supported DC while he was incarcerated in spite of all he had done to her. But it seemed that the roles had been reversed when the bombshell was dropped. Reported an offer for a documentary series with the working title ATL Betrayal, which was leaked in an email exchange between Rashida's manager and a reality show producer. The offer was genuine, the money was enormous, and the filmmakers wanted an uncensored behind-the-scenes glimpse of the scandal. But Rashida's team reportedly declined, claiming that one insider said Rashida wasn't prepared and didn't want to make her suffering into a television show. Considering everything, Kirk, who is often the expert at transforming drama into screen time, advised her to stay away from the project before we talk since we need to heal the insider. Claimed, but supporters weren't prepared to take action on petitions that called for male DCS to be barred from future performances, while others focused on Rashida's support. Calling on businesses to cut their connections with her, the public's demands for answers turned the dispute into a reckoning as Jasmine made a triumphant comeback, releasing images of past chats between KP and Rashida along with receipts, indicating that she was aware of his infidelity long before the public was. We all receive trash. Some of us simply know how to keep it clean in public. But Jasmine did a good job playing the victim in her post-thread, leaving admirers in shock. Was Rashida really the victim? Or had she was acting independently? Had she known about Mendeecees' behavior? Or was this the first time she had been? Kirk uploaded a rare update of himself in the studio, his eyes full of passion, with the message, "Sometimes good people, while the drama intensified, make poor decisions, which does not make them wicked. Rather, it just makes them human. I'm sorry, but it was the only answer given." Fans were split. One lady, reality TV queen Mona Scott, stayed oddly quiet amid all the uproar, while some sought more information and others praised the simplicity. The one who had planned the ascent and decline of several celebrities and was the mastermind of hip-hop and love was allegedly rearranging the plot according to sources. Production was underway. Hold while Mona brought Yandy, together with Rashida for a historic. Fans were left wondering if could these two women really have this happened? Once so near, now stand directly in front of the fallout from this shocking betrayal. However, even when the dust cleared, there were too many questions remain unanswered. Why was the footage released now? Deliberate action or a request for assistance? What would occur with the connections at the ramifications at the core of this scandal were extensive. Professions, unions, and reputations had been destroyed, trust was gone, and for some there was no coming back. As the Globe saw the narrative was far from many, fans were riveted to their TVs waiting for the next post, the next update, the next portion of this twisted puzzle. One thing was guaranteed: this drama's chapter was already in motion, and none could predict how it would conclude. Has Rashida ever made a comeback to the public eye? DCs will continue to conceal themselves, and will Yandy eventually locate her amid the shadows? Tranquility, or is this just the start of her struggle for self-reliance?